President Obama understands that in just a few months, he's going to have to hand over the reins of America to Donald Trump. And that is going to be a disaster for every single person in this country, except maybe some of the people in the top 1% of income earners. Nonetheless, President Obama does understand what's at stake. And so that is why in the few days since Donald Trump was elected, President Obama has been scrambling to try to not only fix his legacy, but to make sure that Donald Trump cannot do as much damage to this country as he would like to do. Two great examples. First of all, President Obama signed an order giving the Department of Health and Human Services basically a new rule that says that any women who make under a certain amount of money cannot be denied birth control coverage, family planning coverage in the United States. Effectively ensured the funding of Planned Parenthood indefinitely, forever. That is a huge, huge move. It is a very smart move. And to be honest, it's a very human move to allow women throughout this country who just don't make enough money to still be able to get the vital health services that they need to function in the United States. Great big win for President Obama there. Second thing he did, directed the Department of Interior to rapidly expand production and development of renewable energy on public lands. That is huge, again. But here's the thing. Both of these things that President Obama did in the 2 days since Donald Trump won the election, he literally could have done these 7 years ago. He could have done that at any point in the last 7 years. Why now? Why do you suddenly act like you care, President Obama? You could have done this anytime. Look, I am glad that you did it. But you have failed to do it every day of the week for the last 7 years. Was it just that you didn't think there was a chance in hell that Republicans could ever take back the White House? So are we just going to kick the can down the road, let the next Democratic president do this stuff, or have them kick it down the road for the next Democratic president? You could have been great. You could have been the best president ever. And you're not. I'm sure history books are going to look upon you fondly and kindly and be a lot nicer to you than those of us paying attention right now. They always do that. That's why Reagan is revered. George W. Bush will be revered. Bill Clinton is revered. You will be too. But for what? What have you accomplished? You look at what you've done versus what you could have done, what was well within your power to do, what the American people wanted you to do, and you shouldn't be proud of any of it. Now, don't get me wrong. I like President Obama. As far as being a good person, I think President Obama is the best human being we have ever had as President of the United States. He is a great person. He is a great husband. He is a great father. He's a great man. But he's been a very mediocre president.